I ended up in the hospital after a workplace accident. My spouse never showed up to see me. When I reached out, she snapped, "You're not worth the fuel cost." She told me to either pass away swiftly or recover fast. Then my stepson grabbed the phone and said, "We're fine without you." I ended the call. A month later, I left the hospital against advice and didn't return to our home. Yesterday, my sibling sent me a video of my spouse yelling outside our now half-vacant house, "He took it all, even the dog!" I'm Everett, 42, married to Barbara, 39, for 8 years. She had a son, Gage, now 16, from before we met. He was just 8 when I came into their lives, and I gave it my all to bond with him. I constructed a tree fort for him, showed him how to cast a fishing line, tried to be the stepfather he deserved. Barbara and I weren't a picture-perfect couple, but I thought we had something real. We had our habits, our shared laughs, our life together. That all shifted 51 days ago. I was on a job site when a steel beam collapsed. The result? A shattered leg, 3 cracked ribs, and a pierced lung. Doctors said I was fortunate to survive. Doesn't feel that way now, honestly. That first night in the hospital is a blur. Painkillers had me drifting in and out of consciousness. I recall phoning Barbara, asking her not to bring Gage because I looked rough. She promised to visit. The next morning. Morning arrived. No Barbara. Day 2. Still nothing. I assumed she was busy with Gage or her job. I called her that evening. She picked up while some reality TV show blared in the background. She said she'd try to come tomorrow. Day 3. No sign of her. By day 5, worry set in. Not for our marriage, but for her safety. Had she been in a crash? Was Gage okay? I asked a nurse if my wife had called. No record of it. I tried her number again, straight to voicemail. This went on. 1 week turned into 2. The nurses started giving me sympathetic glances. One, Tessa, 34, would chat with me during her breaks. She never asked about Barbara's absence, but her eyes held the question. 3 weeks in, I was moved from ICU to a standard room. By then, I'd spoken to Barbara twice, each call under 3 minutes. She was always rushing off. Our dog Curtis was unwell. The dishwasher was acting up. Gage had a match. Always an excuse. That night, sleep wouldn't come. I kept replaying our 8th anniversary, 2 months prior. Barbara had seemed off, glued to her phone. When I asked if something was wrong, she flashed a smile and said, "Everything's fine. Why would it not be?" I brushed it off, but now, it felt like a warning I'd ignored. 4 weeks in, another surgery on my leg. Still no Barbara. My sister Bernice visited nearly every day, bringing homemade meals and news about Curtis, who was perfectly fine, by the way. One day, Bernice lingered before leaving, then asked if I wanted her to confront Barbara. "About what?" I said. Her expression said it all. She's always been an open book. "About her not visiting her husband in the hospital for 28 days, she said. Something inside me shattered. Not my heart, but the illusion I'd clung to. I asked Bernice to check our joint bank account. Just a gut feeling. 2 days later, she brought my laptop, and we logged into the account. What I saw sent my vitals. Haywire, triggering alarms. Over $6,000 gone in a month, mostly ATM cash pulls, some transfers to an unknown account, and a charge at a jewelry store. Barbara only wears her wedding band and a necklace I gave her last Christmas. That night, I called her. She answered, mid-bite, with dinner sounds in the background. I didn't mention the money, just asked when she'd visit. "The hospital's 40 minutes away," she said. "Gas is nearly $5 a gallon, and with everything else—" "Everything else?" I echoed. A beat of silence. "Yeah, I'm basically raising Gage alone. He's got activities. The house needs repairs. That roof leak won't fix itself." I pointed out that Bernice had offered to drive her, that friends had volunteered, that we had plenty for gas. Or did, before those withdrawals. That's when she said it, words seared into my memory. "You're not worth the fuel, Everett. Die quick or heal fast. I'm done with this limbo nonsense." She tried to backtrack, blaming stress, but I was numb. Then Gage came on the line, voice wavering like he was forcing toughness. "We don't miss you. Mom's friend Silvio's been helping out." Silvio, our neighbor who moved in 6 months ago, always eager to assist Barbara when I worked late. I hung up without a word, staring at the ceiling for hours. Day 36 in the hospital. Tessa slipped me an extra dessert with my meds. "Tough night?" she asked, noting my uneaten breakfast. I spilled everything to her. Don't know why. Maybe because she'd been kind without expecting anything. She listened quietly, then said, "Some folks show their true colors in good times. The wise notice early. The rest learn when things get rough." The next 2 weeks were a haze of therapy, appointments, and discreet planning. I barred the hospital from sharing updates with Barbara. She never called anyway. Bernice fetched documents from our home office while Barbara was out. I made calls using Bernice's phone, tracked our accounts daily, more withdrawals, more odd charges, including 2 Cancun tickets. "Barbara loathes beaches," says Sans a nuisance. One day, Bernice reported seeing Silvio's car at our house at 2 p.m. on a weekday when Barbara should have been working. I didn't rage or cry. A calm clarity settled in, like a puzzle finally, clicking together. That night, I asked Tessa about leaving early. Doctors wanted 3 more weeks. My leg was braced, mobility minimal, but I couldn't stay while Barbara drained our funds. AMA, Tessa said, against medical advice, but Everett, you're still recovering. Infections are a real risk. I told her I couldn't stay. She outlined home care needs, connected me with a medical supply company, and gave me a home. Health contact. Day 51, I signed the AMA forms. My doctor tried for 30 minutes to dissuade me, warning of complications. I said staying posed worse risks. Bernice picked me up, her SUV's seats folded for my leg. As we left, she asked, "Home?" I watched the hospital fade in the mirror. 51 days, no visit from my wife. "No," I said. "Take me to the stay bridge on Westlake. I booked a room." "Extended stay? For how long?" I thought of Barbara, Gage, Silvio, the vanishing money, the beach trip. "As long as needed. I've got plans." Bernice glanced over. "You're going all out, aren't you?" For the first time in 51 days, I grinned. "No, I'm giving Barbara what she's earned. No more, no less." That's when Operation Clearhouse kicked off. Update 1. Thanks for the support and messages from my last post. Didn't expect this to resonate so widely. Some called it fiction. Strange choice, but okay. Others demanded instant updates. Apologies for the delay. Plotting payback while recovering from severe injuries eats up time. So where was I? The stay bridge on Westlake. That first night was brutal. The room felt vast and silent compared to the hospital. No nurses, no monitors, just me, my racing mind, and a leg throbbing relentlessly. I watched a cooking show until 4 a.m., pain meds barely helping. Bernice brought breakfast, microwavable sandwiches and industrial-strength coffee. She was browsing a local social media group where I discovered Barbara had posted about her brave husband battling for life, asking for prayers. Used a 5-year-old vacation photo. Posted 3 days post-accident, then radio silence about me. The nerve. Bernice urged me to confront her, blast her online. I wanted that chaos too, but Tessa's words lingered. True revenge takes patience. So I made a list instead, typing in my phone's notes app. Hire a lawyer, catalog assets, trace the money, open a new account, find a place to live, retrieve Curtis. Top priority. Bernice found a lawyer who'd visit the hotel since I couldn't. Drive. Reggie arrived in casual clothes, backpack in tow, not your typical attorney, but perfect for me. Practical, no nonsense, experienced in messy domestic cases. He asked if I wanted divorce or separation. Divorce, I said, quicker than I expected. We spent hours reviewing everything. The house, bought pre-marriage, refinanced jointly. Cars, one each. Joint accounts, separate retirement funds. Reggie whistled occasionally. Not one hospital visit in 51 days? He asked. I showed him bank statements, credit card charges, Bernice's screenshots of Barbara's untagged restaurant, check-ins with a friend. You're entitled to half the marital assets, Reggie said, but you need proof of what's there before she hides it. That night, I lay awake, mind racing. Barbara thought I was still hospitalized, unaware I knew about Silvio or the money. That was my edge. Day 3 at the hotel, I set up a new email and ordered a burner phone. Texted Barbara from my regular phone saying doctors extended my stay, signal was bad, I'd call when possible. Her reply? A thumbs-up emoji. No. Towards the next week was about evidence. Bernice photographed our house while Barbara worked. Every room, drawer, closet. She grabbed my vital documents, birth certificate, social security card, passport, plus clothes, and my spare laptop. I opened accounts at a new bank, rerouted my paychecks, transferred half our savings, exactly half, per Reggie's advice. Canceled. Joint credit cards, got my own. Finding an apartment while barely mobile was tough. I did virtual tours. Signed a lease for a ground floor unit with an elevator 15 minutes from our old place, paid from my new account. 2 weeks post-hospital, I ditched the walker for crutches. Slow but manageable. Barbara called twice, each talk under a minute, always in a rush. I played along, mentioning fake therapy sessions and doctor praise. Then Bernice learned Barbara planned a girls' weekend in Nashville, leaving Friday back Sunday. Perfect. I booked movers for Saturday, paid extra for packing, made an inventory. Pre-marriage items, joint purchases, her stuff. Reggie vetted it for legality. Waiting was agony. What if Barbara bailed on the trip, came home early, left Gage behind? Endless scenarios looped in my head. Friday morning, Bernice confirmed Barbara's car was gone and airport shuttle in its place. Operation Clearhouse was on. She picked me up at noon Saturday. I hobbled on crutches. The moving truck arrived as we did. 4 guys, all business. I had keys, inventory, and resolve I didn't know I had. Entering the house after nearly 70 days felt odd, like stepping into a staged version of my life. Our photos on the walls, mail stacked, Gage's sneakers by the door. Shockingly, the place was immaculate, cleaner than I'd ever seen it. Guess Barbara saved her best for Silvio. Curtis bolted downstairs at my voice, nearly toppling me despite my crutches. 80 pounds of ecstatic dog, whining and licking. That moment almost undid me. I slipped to the bathroom to compose myself. The movers worked fast. Bedroom set, mine pre-marriage, living room furniture, split 50-50, my office gear, garage tools. Barbara's belongings stayed, her vanity, clothes, craft supplies. Gage's room was harder. Legally, I owed him nothing, but 8 years of raising him weighed heavy. I left everything except the gaming system I'd gifted him last Christmas. By 4 p.m., Bernice ordered pizza. We ate on moving blankets in the half-empty living room. A mover asked why we left some items. Separating households, I said. He nodded, unsurprised. By 7 p.m., the truck was packed. I did a final sweep, ensuring I took only what was mine. In our bedroom, I stared at our wedding photo on Barbara's nightstand. Left it for her to face. The new apartment was a mess that night. Boxes everywhere. Furniture misplaced since I couldn't help. Curtis sniffed around, confused. Bernice stayed late unpacking essentials, setting up my bed. When she left, the quiet was overwhelming. Just me and Curtis in an unfamiliar space, surrounded by fragments of my past. I sat on the misplaced couch, scrolling my phone. Barbara had posted Nashville photos, grinning with friends, tagged bitch on girls weekend, Ash living my best. Her house, meanwhile, was gutted. Sunday, she and Gage were due back that evening. I braced for panic but felt calm, like I knew the script's ending. At 6 p.m., Bernice texted, "They're home, brace yourself." By 6:47 p.m., my phone erupted. Barbara's texts. "Where's our stuff? What did you do? Are you kidding me?" Calls followed, one after another. I let them pile up, unanswered. After the 6th, I powered off my phone. An hour later, Bernice sent a clip from her doorbell camera, 2 houses down from ours. It showed Barbara on our lawn, shrieking, arms flailing. "He took it all! Even the damn dog! Who does this?" Curtis perked up at her voice, then resumed gnawing his bone, unfazed. Smart dog. Later, I turned my phone on. 17 missed calls, 32 texts, 4 voicemails. I played one, Barbara, voice trembling. "You can't vanish with our things. This isn't legal. I'm calling the cops." I sent it to Reggie, who replied, "Let her try. We followed the law." Next morning, Barbara emailed. Subject, "We need to talk." 3 lines. "I know you're mad, but this is too much. Call me. We can fix this." B. No apology, just her usual control. I didn't reply. Reggie sent her a letter detailing what I took and why, plus divorce papers. Precise, legal, final. While unpacking kitchen boxes that afternoon, I found our anniversary card from 2 months before the accident. Barbara's note, "Here's to more years shaping our future together." I stared at it, then texted her a photo with one question. "Was Silvio already around when you wrote this?" She read it, typed, paused, typed again. Her reply, "It's not that simple." That confirmed I'd chosen correctly. Some things are crystal clear. Final update. Here's the closure you've all been asking for. Sorry for the wait. Life's been intense. Thanks for the support. I never imagined my mess would connect with so many. It's been 3 months since Operation Clear House. 3 months of piecing together a new life while watching my old one collapse from afar. Oddly, I kept finding bobby pins everywhere. Sneakers, kitchen boxes, couch cushions. Tiny traces of Barbara, lingering uninvited, like her presence in my careful exit. After the move, Barbara's behavior swung wildly. Angry texts gave way to weepy voicemails within days. She'd threaten lawsuits, then beg me to return. Textbook manipulation, a cycle I'd overlooked for years. On day 3, an unknown number called. I answered. It was Gage, sounding younger, vulnerable. He asked to visit, alone. No drama. I wavered. His, "We don't miss you," stung. But 8 years as his stepfather held firm. I agreed to meet after school, gave him the address, swore him to secrecy about his mom. Bernice warned it might be a setup, Barbara using Gage to track me. She wasn't wrong, but I needed to try. Gage arrived wearing the hoodie I'd gifted him, eyeing my cluttered apartment. Curtis went berserk, leaping on him. We sat on the balcony with drinks, watching cars below. He confessed Barbara and Silvio's affair began a year ago. He'd heard them discuss my hospital stay, Barbara calling my accident convenient for their time together. The gut punch. She'd scripted his "We don't miss you" line, bribing him with a new console to sell. It. At 16, he was torn between her and his conscience. He said the half-empty house woke him up, showing his mom's true priorities, fretting over furniture, not my safety, while gossiping with friends. That night, I sat outside until 2 a.m., beer in hand, dissecting missed red flags, Barbara's late work nights, vague friend weekends, the slow drift I'd dismissed. Next morning, my burner phone pinged. An unknown number, Barbara. "I know Gage saw you." She'd likely snooped his phone. I didn't respond, called Reggie instead. He advised funneling all contact through him, typical for ugly divorces, and confirmed our legal stance. 2 weeks later, Bernice's doorbell camera caught Barbara parked outside my building for 3 hours, staring. It rattled me during therapy. My new home felt breached. Her car was gone when I returned, but a package waited. No label, just my name in her script. Inside, Curtis's old bed, fishing photos of me and Gage, a letter. I stashed it, unopened. That night, Barbara called from another number. Her tone was subdued. No games. She asked about Curtis, my health, then fell silent. She offered the full truth if I wanted it. Part of me wanted to hang up, guard my progress. But I needed answers. We talked for 2 hours. She admitted her affair. With Silvio started 9 months pre-accident. She'd planned to divorce but couldn't time it. My injury changed her math. My death meant insurance cash. Survival meant splitting assets. That's why she stayed away, hoping I'd pass. The withdrawals, prep for separation, Cancun tickets, a trip with Silvio, jewelry charge, for him. I absorbed it all, stone-faced, with one question. Why confess? Now? Her bitter chuckle. Silvio dumped her post-move, spooked by her crazed reaction. Now she was alone, in a half-empty house, with a son who barely spoke to her. I expected triumph, but felt drained. I told her Reggie would handle everything, that we were done. A week later, Gage asked to spend weekends with me. Home was rough, Barbara drinking heavily, erratic. Reggie said it was tricky but possible, with her consent. She agreed, maybe guilt, maybe exhaustion. I set up a spare room for Gage, simple, bed, desk, space for his things. Our first weekend was stilted, but by the third we hit a groove. Movie nights, pancake mornings, dog walks with Curtis. Quiet moments forging something new. The divorce crawled on. Barbara fought the asset split, then abruptly signed off. The house would sell, proceeds halved, assets divided as planned. 6 weeks post-move, I saw Tessa's Instagram suggested, hiking shots, food posts. We'd swapped numbers but hadn't talked much. I messaged her. She replied fast. We grabbed coffee, just catching up, no expectations. She'd switched hospitals, shared her divorce story. I showed Curtis pics, mentioned Gage's visits. She listened like it mattered. She suggested a support group for injury and life upheaval survivors. I took the info but didn't commit. 2 weeks later I tried it, sat quietly, but the shared understanding helped. The final divorce hearing loomed. I dreaded seeing Barbara, not from doubt, but fatigue. The courtroom was stark. Barbara looked polished. New dress, tight smile, eyes cold. Our gazes crossed briefly. It was quick. The judge approved our terms, signed off. 8 years ended in under 30 minutes. Outside, Barbara stopped me, handing over an envelope, our wedding photo for someday. I thanked her, pocketed it, trashed it later. That night, Gage texted, nervous the divorce would cancel our weekends. His fear of more loss hit deep. I replied, pizza night tomorrow, you choose. As we watched a movie, Curtis sprawled across us. I laughed, a real unguarded laugh. I'd be okay, not instantly, but truly. The house sold. Barbara moved out. Bernice sent a photo of the sold sign. Anticlimactic. My last therapy session marked major progress. I credited grit. My therapist said resilience. Maybe both. Now I'm divorced, healing with Gage, Curtis thriving. Tessa and I've had 6 coffees, 2 dinners, slow, organic. She taught Gage pasta making, our kitchen a flower disaster, but the meal incredible. Barbara texts about logistics, civil but brief. Silvio's gone, fled the fallout. I don't regret. Operation empty. It showed Barbara life without me, and I rediscovered myself. Thanks, Reddit. Your support carried me. Here's to a boring life ahead.